teaching y'all how to make a basic beanie, and I'm gonna show y'all how to switch colors and get it secure and all that. So I like to just hop straight into my video, so here we go. I'm starting off with a magic circle. Move my yarn over here. And I'm going to make 12 double crochets into this circle. I'll meet y'all back when I got 12 double crochets in this circle. Okay, so I got my 12 double crochets in the magic circle, and I didn't slip stitch yet, so I'm gonna slip stitch into this first stitch right here. So the slip stitch, you just go through, pull it through, and pull that through. And that's our first round done. So I like to work my yarn in as I'm going. So I'm going to work this in as I start on the next round. And on the next round, you're gonna do 2 double crochets all the way around. And also you're gonna start off with, you're gonna chain 2 to start. And then to that first chain that you slip stitched into, you're gonna put a double crochet in there. So you can put 2 double crochets in this first one. I don't count the chains as a stitch because you're not crocheting into the chains. That's just to get you to the right level that you want it. And so to work, when I work my yarn in, I like to do it like this. Like I put it over the stitches, and then I go into the stitch, pull it through. You see, cause I don't know if y'all can see that, but like it's kind of over the string. I'm working over the string, so it's like it's gonna be worked into it. But like I said, we're gonna go around. We're gonna do two double crochets in each stitch around, so at the end you should end up with 24. That one, same thing. Like I know it's crazy that I'm like, it's hard to see with the black yarn, but I'm gonna show y'all other examples with the white yarn. But this is like this is a product that I'm gonna be selling, and this is what the person requested, so that's the colors I'm using. Yeah, so I'm just going to this next stitch, and you see my yarn is over it, so I'm able to work it into my piece, so I don't have to weave it in afterwards. And like I said, I'm just doing 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. And I'm using a 4.5 hook. I usually use a 5, but I'm using a 4.5 because I want it to be tighter, because I'm gonna be crocheting letters into this one. So I do recommend using a 5. But we're just gonna do 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around, and I'll meet y'all back before I slip stitch. Okay, so I made it all the way around. I put 2 double crochets in each stitch, and now I'm gonna slip stitch it. So I'm going this first one. So make sure you're not going into the chains. These are the 2 chains. There's 1, 2, and I'm gonna go into the first double crochet that I made and slip stitch it. All right, and so now I want to add my second color. Wrapped around my fingers, pull through, like you just chain it through. Well, this is how I do it. It's a simple way to do it, and it works, so that's just how I do it. I pull this, my last working string, I pull it tight, and then I cut it off. And then I just tie them together. You really tie it with like any knot. I like to just do a little simple little loop, pull them together, and it's fine. And so now I'm gonna be starting off with my second color. And eventually I want to like cascade the colors together. So and then you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna put your two chains, start off with 2 chains, and then on this round, instead of 2 around, you're gonna go 1 2 1 2. So like you're gonna alternate, and it's the same thing. To start off, you go into the same loop that you slip stitch together. You make a double crochet, make 1, and then in the next one you're gonna make 2 double crochets, and you're just gonna do that all the way around. So I'm gonna show y'all. Make 2 double crochets in here, and the same thing too. I'm working in my strings as I'm going, and you just keep it on top of your stitches, and it should work straight into it. Like, I don't know if you see, but when I go in and when I pull it, you see the string is like over it, so when I pull it through, it's on top right there. And in this stitch I'm only doing 1 because I did 2 in the last one, these 2, and this one is just getting 1. So the next one I'm doing 2. And I'm just doing 1 in this one. And 2 in the next one. Uh-oh. Alright. And if you ever lose track, you can kind of see how many it is in each. Like, so I start off with 1 in the first one. I don't count this chain as 1. Start off with 1, and I got 2, 1 2 1, and this one is gonna have 2. So like, if you ever get lost on what's your next amount, you can always go back and count how many you already have. So in this one it's gonna be 1, and the next one is gonna be 2. And these, when you put 2 stitches in one stitch, that's called an increase. But I'll meet y'all back when I get back around to the other side. I'm getting close to the end, but another thing to keep in mind is, like, usually when you do your pattern right, you end off with your increase. So like, I'm putting 1 in my last one, I should be putting 2 double crochets. And I mean, it's not really that important. You just want to make sure that you get this like dome shape, like as you work in your project, gonna start to dome like a hat. So that was just something to be mindful of, to keep in mind while you crocheting. And the same thing, you want to skip your two chains. So this is 1 2, and this is your first double crochet. You're gonna slip stitch. You're gonna start off the same way. You're gonna chain 2, and then you're gonna put 1 double crochet in your first stitch. And for this round, you're gonna do 1 1 2. So like every third stitch is gonna be, you're gonna increase on. So it's gonna be 1. Hold on. Alright, I'm getting a knot out. Usually, like, if you just take your time to unknot it, you won't get like a knot that you have to cut out. But sometimes it's just, you just gotta cut it out. But here we go. So I did my 1 1, and then you're gonna do 2 in this one. And I like to change colors when I get around to slip stitching it, because it just makes it easier to change my colors and keep it like neat and organized that way. But for this one, I'm gonna be cascading. I'm probably gonna change colors halfway around, so once I get around again, it's gonna be like halfway black. So I'll meet y'all around, but I'm gonna show y'all one more time the pattern. So you're gonna go 1 double crochet, 1, and then 2. I'm gonna switch my colors right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off. And I'm gonna add my other string right here. Let me get everything out the way so y'all can see how I'm doing this. So how I like to make this knot, I like to tie it. So I tie around one string, right? And I just make a loop with one string. And then I take the other string and I make a loop with that one. And when you do that, when you pull both strings tight, they don't pass the other knot. So hold on, let me show y'all. See, they slide together and they don't move. And that's how I like to, like, if you're gonna be adding a string in the middle of your work, this is a decent knot. It won't come apart. And then you can always you can either cut off the excess, or you could just weave it in. And this one kind of long, so I'm gonna just like cut it off and weave the rest of it in. And yeah, so I would just move that string, and you can just keep crocheting. That one just came undone, so I was on my second single double crochet, and then I'm gonna make 2 in this one. Hold up. All right, this is my double. Yep, this is my double. And I'm just weaving in these strings, like weaving them in right now. Well, I'm working them in right now. And then I just did my double, so I'm back on my single. Single. And then a double. Yep. And so I was just showing y'all how to add the color in when you in the middle of working instead of adding it in when you slip stitch. But I will meet y'all back around when I'm about to slip stitch it back together. Okay, so y'all, for this one I did mess up my count, and I know exactly where I messed it up at. Right here I did 3 single stitches and then the 4th one, but instead of going all the way back and doing it again, I just put 2 double crochets in the last one, and I ended up with 48. So it should be 12, 24, 36, 48. And then so I'm gonna just slip stitch it together. Make sure you don't slip stitch into the chain. And then that's the end of that round. We're gonna chain 2. And so the pattern for this round is gonna be every, so let me see, every 4th. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and then increase on the 4th. I got this little yarn ball. This some like scrap that I had. Re-rolled it back up. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then increase on the 4th one. And then this is gonna be your last row of increases. After this, it's just gonna be double crochets all the way down the length of the hat. So it should be like however long you want it. You can stop off and, you know, stop at different points and see how long you want it. I usually do like 16, but the different hooks make a difference on how long I make it. So I was doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna cut this off and put the string on. I did it once in this video, but I guess I might as well just do it again because it's like it's a new skill for a lot of people. So if you don't know how to do it, then seeing it just once is not gonna make it stick. So you make a loop. My bad. I'll be trying to like make sure that y'all can see it in the camera, but also trying to like see myself. They're hanging up. Tie that one. Tie this one. Bam. They don't cross. My string is stuck on the inside. Ain't that the best? It broke. I guess I'll get back to y'all when I'm about to slip stitch it. Okay, so I'm done with all my rows of increases, and I'm just going to show y'all one more time how to add color the other way, or how I add color the other way. I yarn it over, and I'll pull it through the last loop that I slip stitched through. Pull it, make sure you pull it tight. It's attached. I just finish the rows how I normally do. Make sure you double crochet in that first slip stitch. Work it in as you go. And then there's no more increases, so you just finish these rounds all the way around. With just single double crochets in each stitch. My turtle in the background going crazy. So I mean, that's really the end of the beanie tutorial. You really just make it as long as you want to make it, and you just keep going. Yep. And like I said, if you want to see how I'm going to stitch in, so I'm going to be stitching in letters, and it's going to be red. If you want to see how that process goes, just make sure you subscribe so you can see my video once I post it. It'll probably be up a few days after this video. But yeah. Okay, so this is the finished product of the beanie. I did 16 rows. I finished it off with a 5mm hook. I did the rest of it with a 4.5. And yeah, I mean, it's the finished product.